I am the Youth Poet Laureate Philadelphia for 2019-2020. I'm excited to be here. This is my first official event as Youth Poet Laureate, and part of this position is that I get to perform at public events such as this and share my spoken word poetry. So thank you for having me. This first poem that I'm going to read is kind of about self-love and appreciation, and I think we could all use more of that in the world. It's about just kind of praising yourself and celebrating yourself. So this is Miracle in March. One spring morning, after the sun had made its way to the tip of the sky, Mother Nature unleashed a miracle in March. Knew this was the day to forge a phenomenon. She mixed together daffodils and lilacs, mashed the petals of irises into something softer, sprinkled pollen over top of it all, practically spilled springtime into a bowl, and stirred until I was born from it. She knew it was time to develop a masterpiece. Thought the world was finally ready for my little pink fingers to paint the sky that morning. Decided my dirt brown eyes needed to nourish all living things. Let my tulip lips purse themselves and take a deep breath, only to exhale a steady breeze into the world. She heard my soft voice singing a duet with the birds and sprang me to life. One spring morning, Mother Nature blessed the soil of the earth with this flower, and ever since then, she's been watching me grow. This next poem, thank you. This next poem I wrote in reflection a couple of years ago about Hurricane Maria, which devastated Puerto Rico. And I do have some family that lives there, so it kind of hit closer to home that they weren't getting the attention and help that they needed from the people that had power to do more. So this was just kind of a poem about that frustration and upset that people weren't helping enough. When the first drops fall, it takes a while for people to notice the light pitter-patter of precipitation. No one knows about the storm until it comes down in plunks of plump drops. Sheets and swells slip in, sloppy flops of water. Mildew and dirt wipe away fresh and clean as a brand new day. This is the media directing their cameras away from the filth and forgetting the fragments of swill still stirring in the flood zones. News crews collect the same few pictures, then broadcasting companies make sure they are safe on the next flight away from all the fright. Turn the nation's attention to the next news, a constant flow of wet lies wiping the slate clean every time. The media rains down on the doomed, tells them they're destined for destruction, then drop a dribble of rain over already muddy waters. Why doesn't the news display the truth? The sinking souls buried and drowning in this disaster, someone better start showing the world their sorrows. Broadcast on every television, visions of homes in ruin, beat down, broken, and battered by the bullet beads of rain. They're swimming in suffering, yet networks struggle to get the message across. They can't stop masking the damage with the next segment, a flood of fake feelings of sympathy, troublesome attempts to tuck away the terror. Puerto Ricans feel powerless, problems dismissed by pretend patriotism, fake aid, yet another pellet of rain. Networks post up their crews in dry suites in San Juan, let them take slow sips from pina coladas, while the citizens take dips from their rooftops, swept aside by rushing tides. Where's the tally now for how many have died? I'm ready for the full report on the streams running through the streets, footage of water that still won't recede. Are you receiving this rundown? Puerto Ricans won't be run out of town and drowned. News anchors only allot one slot, a slideshow of hollow homes, then suppress the rest under a cascading crest. We wonder why we can't hear from loved ones, why our cell phones pressed eagerly to our ears respond with emptiness. With each ring we tally another relative that could be gone. With each unanswered space and crackle through the phone, we wonder if we ever will hear their voices again. We have America's hands to thank for shoving their heads underwater with each swift pass of the newsreel. They don't hear the cries coming from beneath the bubbles, can no longer make out the figures through the filth, submerge a whole people in their misery. The media has already forgotten about the storm. The only thing they'll broadcast now is the weather forecast. Networks don't care about the sunken souls, the islands submitted to destruction. Tell me how many natural disasters and lost lives will it take for them to care? Tell me how many homes and cities must be erased before action is taken. Tell me just how many. Thank you. This last poem is about my experience traveling to Puerto Rico for the first time and kind of embracing a part of my culture that I never got to embrace before. And this is about a particular beach that I was at in which I kind of just felt overwhelmed by the culture and the beauty of the island. And this is called Luquillo. Turquoise waves lay still against my stomach, immovable on my body like bathwater. Ripples only form from my fingers. The only thing stirring in these waters is me. I've never seen water so blue with green undertones. I'm swimming through liquid jewels. There is a reason this is La Isla del Encanto. Even the orange-tinted sand is enchanting. Burrowing my feet into the shore, I try to dig roots here, try to link myself to an island far from home, let the palms slice my skin in shadows and light, contour myself in the landscape from a mile away. I try to feel the mist of El Yunque on my face. Clutching a bright green coconut that has been freshly chopped open, I try to imagine its journey from the tree to me. Cling to the juice like the grease on my fingers, flakes of fried empanada dough fall by my feet. As I replay the day, the drive through long stretches of mountains, to a dirty rundown beach that we ditched, the extended highway that brought us here, the walk through a shack of a bar, and on the other side, the swaying leaves, there was the coast lying behind. Luquillo Beach is a dream, a fantasy nestled between a road and my imagination. I have been spellbound on this trip because behind every corner I think I found myself again. Underneath the verdant, long-feathered leaves, I think that might just be me. Thank you.